Hi, my name is Kennedy Brown, and this is my Texas politics presentation over abortion and reproductive rights in Texas. So, I believe this is the most pressing issue in Texas because, as recent as last year, the United States Supreme Court overturned the landmark case of Roe v. Wade with the Dobbs v. Jackson decision. Texas was one of many states that had implemented trigger laws, which went into effect 30 days following the overturning and placed an all out abortion ban statewide. It should be noted that this ban does state that some abortion is okay if it is a medical emergency. However, many doctors are afraid to lose their licenses since the wording in the ban is not clear of what a medical emergency is. This ban has already threatened the lives and bodily autonomy of Texas women and has resulted in a new lawsuit that includes 13 women and 2 OB-GYNs that attribute their suffering directly to the abortion ban. Revoking the right to an abortion has a vast number of challenges and consequences, many of which are to be foreseen in the future. For the sake of this presentation, I've picked two of the biggest issues surrounding the abortion ban. So, during my research, I had found a longitudinal study that had shown the differences between women who had received an abortion and women who were turned away from getting one. And the results of this study showed that there were clear socioeconomic consequences of whether or not a woman had an abortion or not. Women who did not have abortions were more likely to become single parents, who used public assistance programs, and were less likely to have a full time job. This is outlined in Figure 1 in the next slide. The second biggest reason I found during my research was the medical consequences of banning abortion. By banning the safe medical practice, 70.77% of U.S. medical students will have their training restricted due to new abortion laws. This means that doctors, especially OB-GYNs, will not be able to provide adequate care to their female patients in the future because they did not receive adequate training. This poses a huge health risk to Texas women because we already have one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the country. And a report done by the Texas Maternal Mortality and Morbidity Review Committee and the Department of the State Health Services showed that 90% of all pregnancy related deaths were preventable. These deaths were directly attributed to the woman being pregnant, which means that if the woman was not pregnant, these issues would not have occurred. As you can see in Figure 2, the number of cases of severe complications related to pregnancy have been on the rise for many years, especially for people of color. This will only be exacerbated since the abortion ban has been in place as of 2022. I believe the only way to thwart these issues is to allow women the right to choose whether or not to have an abortion. As outlined in the previous slides, our fragile healthcare system cannot continue to suffer due to this decision. The decision has also brought about questions surrounding contraception and other medications, which disenfranchises women who are not getting pregnant and who are not pregnant. Much of the pushback from this decision would most likely come from politically conservative, religious, mostly Christian individuals that happen to be older. In the chart below, you can see that the majority of the people who believe abortion should be illegal are conservatives. The Texas Right to Life Committee, which is a pro life group that spends millions of dollars on campaigns and lobbying efforts to ban abortion, um, the views held by these individuals and groups are deeply rooted in their moral and religious views and genuinely think that abortion is taking a human life and therefore murder. So, like I said, these views are deeply rooted in moral and religious views. And with that being said, it's going to be very hard to change someone's mind when it's that deeply rooted. However, since we did say that most of the pro lifers are conservatives, we can appeal to their political ideology instead. So, current abortion laws infringe upon the First, Ninth, and 14th Amendment. Since the belief that life begins at conception is a uniquely Christian ideal, that violates the First Amendment right because it disenfranchises other religious beliefs. The Ninth Amendment also states that the national government cannot infringe upon non enumerated rights. And since abortion is not specifically outlined in the Constitution, that means it is a non enumerated right. The 14th Amendment kind of outlines the right to privacy, and the reason I say kind of is because it's very vague in its wording, but it does say that states cannot deprive anyone from life, liberty, and property. Over the course of this class, I learned that Texas has a rich history in favoring a decentralized government that favors the right of the people. Abortion laws take away the rights from the people, so by that standard, we should not have an all out abortion ban. If political ideology isn't enough, the other way we can show this is the post Dobbs v. Jackson decision statistics, which would show a rising maternal mortality rate and the economic consequences faced by Texas women. And to conclude my presentation, I would like to answer Alexander's question, or in other words, what would make my mind change. And since I am a woman in STEM, most of my beliefs are rooted in science and statistics. Scientifically, abortion would have to be proven to be harmful to women in the medical sense, or fetuses would have to be proven sentient between conception and the 20th week, which is when abortions are performed. The all out abortion ban would also have to be proven statistically beneficial for women. This means that carrying an unwanted pregnancy would have to have a significant positive effect on women of all backgrounds. So, here are my sources. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I had a really fun time in this class. Thank you. Bye.